Well, let's just jump straight in. I mean, I'm so excited to talk about Kissing Her, Missing You. Um,
Yeah,
can you tell me a little bit about the story that inspired the track? I don't want you to feel kind of like I'm prying too much, but it'd be interesting to know the kind of the history of the track.
yeah, for sure. The story behind the track is actually me a couple of years ago when I was moving from my hometown, my country, Slovenia, to Switzerland. And I left like all my friends and family behind. And at that point, I had a relationship. I was, in a long-term relationship, and we broke up. And I was in a really hard place when I moved to a new country, and I was kind of searching for myself and trying to find, where to go from there. And I kind of, started going on dating apps and just trying to understand and meet new people and see how it goes. And I met a lot of new people, and I kind of realized that I was really comparing a lot to my ex. And no matter how, good the people I met were, or how, you know, good features they had, or they were good looking or whatever, I always found something that bothered me. So that's why the song is called Kissing Her, Missing You, because obviously I was kissing the person I was meeting, but I
Yeah.
was missing my ex. So yeah.
Amazing. So a real sort of personal investment in the story there. Um, you mentioned, it's a song dealing with heartbreak and dealing with thinking back to like an ex-relationship. Was there ever the sort of desire to make it a more sort of somber, mellow track? Because it's quite upbeat, it's quite uplifting in its production style, but it's maybe quite a sad message as well at the heart.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was an initial idea to make it sad, because I think we just kind of wrote it like that with the production in mind like that. And I feel like that's one of my, I don't know, I kind of figured that one of my features when I was writing songs, or when I'm writing song, is I love to kind of go um, with a message that's a bit more deeper to me, how I can relate, because I feel like I've went through a lot of things, so I don't want to put that out. But I kind of love to connect it then to like the production, of it being a bit more bright. So
Yeah,
there's like this really nice contrast, kind of like a yin yang, where you have like a bright production, and like the message is a bit darker. So
yeah.
that's kind
I,
of how I love it.
I think it's nice as well that, for listeners that are maybe feeling similar emotions, they can listen, but it doesn't have to be downbeat. They can listen and possibly get something uplifting from it. So it's a nice contrast, as you say. Um, what
Sure.
would your advice be to someone that's maybe trying to get over heartbreak? I know that's a big question.
You're right. That's a big question. Um, I would just say honestly, like just trust your heart. Just go with it. There is no advice for that. Literally, I mean, try it out. Like just do whatever you feel like you're doing, and then at the end you'll see, how that pans out. That's how I did it, and I feel like I trusted myself, and I'm here, and I'm happy at the end of the day. Where I am. So yeah, just trust yourself.
Survived. You made it through. Yeah. Um, did you have any dating disasters in that process of kind of recovering from heartbreak?
Uh, I wouldn't say disasters. I just think like, obviously there was a lot of experimenting, and I find myself like I'm a bit of a shy person, like a bit of an introvert. So some people, there's like a contrast between like extroverts and introverts, and I feel like that's kind of hard for me, especially because at that point I didn't really speak German that well.
Okay.
So, and some Swiss people don't speak English that well. So maybe there was like a couple of them where it's kind of hard to understand, or just kind of have a good connection, but that was it.
Okay. Interesting. Um, I need to ask, obviously, about your debut, Violent Thing. Such an incredible track, and it was such a firm favorite of the kind of 2020 Eurovision entries. Do you have fond memories of the song?
Oh, for sure, for sure. This was like, I got to I mean, I was introduced by this song from Boris, like Boris Milanov, who produced the track and also wrote it. And the song was kind of like pretty much it was a demo of a track, right? And you can already hear like it coming out, although being a demo. It was just like he showed me a couple of songs, and I was just like, wow, that one stands out. That one is like perfect. I want it, because mainly I wanted to have a track, if it went to Eurovision, for it to be a really radio like track, because I find that really, really important for an artist. It's a to have radio support all everywhere, that's really good. And we just went with it and we trusted it, and we did our best, and at the end it kind of won the process, and there we were. So it just, I feel like this song is a song that kind of put me somewhere, put me on the map, and I will be forever thankful for this song.
I think it's really important that you mentioned radio airplay, because I think,
Yeah.
hopefully, as a British person, I hope that the UK will turn their fortunes around this year. But so often we choose a song that wouldn't really get played on UK radio, yet we expect it to do well in a song contest. So I think that's a really good point you mentioned.
Yeah.
Um, Thinking of 2020, 2022, is there anyone that's really standing out of the Eurovision songs? If you had the chance to listen to any?
Yeah, I must confess I didn't get to listen to all of them because there's so many, and yeah, I must take time for that still. But from what I've heard, I like Italy's entry the most. I just feel like I actually watched the performance version first, and I just fell in love with their connection. Um, and I watched the video then, and I just love the video too. It's just like
Yeah.
the song sounds really really good live and like as an actual song version. So I'm rooting for that song, and I think it's gonna do really really well.
It's also got the home crowd, so
Yeah,
there'll be
for
a lot of
sure.
support for that. Absolutely.
For sure.
Um, would you is the door still open for you in Eurovision? Because I feel like it needs to happen. Like we need to get you on that Eurovision stage at some point.
That's a good question. I must say that this was always my dream to go to the Eurovision, and in 2020 I got this chance to do it, and it was literally one of the best experiences in my life. Got to know all these people, got to work with these people, kind of go through this whole process, and I really enjoyed that time. But after that, I was kind of like I kind of decided to just kind of focus on my own career and my own path as much as I can, and just try to release as many songs, as much of my music as possible, and try to build my own fan base. So, and I know that takes time and effort, um, and Eurovision takes a lot of time and effort if you want to fully dedicate yourself to what I've learned. So, yeah, I feel like for now I'm definitely focusing on my own music, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. I like that. It's open. It's slightly open, slightly ajar. Um, Thinking of obviously Kissing Her, Missing You, Violent Thing, stuck in my mind. You've got quite you're building a good sort of discography. Is the plan to kind of collate these into an album or an EP, or do you think going singles is the best approach?
Right. So the plans for me for this year are definitely to just release as much of as many singles as possible, because I feel like the singles are best to get people to know your sound, like specifically, and also kind of gain an audience and an actual fan base. So I will be doing this now for this year, and I want to release like a couple more songs. Obviously, I don't know how many. I hope for as much as I can, but yeah, and then so that I can also like do a performance, because man, I didn't do a live performance, the actual live performance, in a long time, and I want to have enough songs for me to actually do a show or do like an opening show for somebody, and that's the goal for the end of the year. Just release the singles, and then I think next year there's definitely a possibility to do an EP. I think that's where I'm going to.
Yeah, very cool. Um, have you given much thought about where you'd like to perform?
Where I would like, I would, if when it comes to first show, I would definitely love to do it in Berlin, just because I know so many people there, and I know that at least I have like a certain kind of like a fan base, and obviously I live there, so I'm just kind of like really ecstatic about that. But the second one after that would be London, because
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I spent a lot of my time there, and also my manager is living there, and I did so many things there. So I'm just like hoping that I get to do it as soon as possible. Yeah, that would be so fun.
Good, it'll happen. It will happen. Um, I would love to ask, thinking about creating music, what's the process that, what do you enjoy most about that process? Is it the writing? Is it the actual recording, or the tweaking the track after? What would you say is your favorite part of that?
Uh, though the favorite part of creating a music are the initial sessions for me. So when you get to meet up with a person, get to know them, and then kind of sharing your thought process, sharing your vision, and you're kind of both kind of blending in your own like ideas together, and then you know you create something that just comes out of two people. And I feel like that's the beauty of it, is just first of all connecting with somebody, and second, just creating something that I think you alone wouldn't be able to, because you need the other person to do it. So, but there's like so many other things that I love doing, from recording vocals, because literally I recorded like the vocals for Kissing Her Missing You and Stuck in My Mind, both in my room here.
Mhm.
Um, I love to do that and just comp them. And I just love to be involved literally in every process there is of creating a song, even like when it comes to music video or artwork. So, yeah.
Yeah, and can you talk to me a little bit about the music video for Kissing Her Missing You?
Sorry?
Can you talk to me a little bit about the music video for the new single?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, we actually recorded this video like last year in summer, and it was actually the hottest day uh, that day in London
yeah,
in the whole year. And I believe me, I was not prepared for that, because we probably didn't even check you know, what the forecast was gonna be. And we just kind of arrived there. Everybody arrived there, and it was so hot. I had to wear like a jacket on. And we were filming, and all of a sudden I felt like my skin was getting red and stuff, and we didn't have any sunscreen.
yeah.
So honestly, by the end of the day, when we were filming like the band footage and stuff, because we have a band, it was so fun. I was literally looking like a tomato. Like there's no other way of saying it. I mean, if you watch the video, you can see in some shots I look like I just came from a very long vacation.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, yeah, but that was just kind of. I was really scared at the end that when we were putting it together, that it wouldn't look that. It was kind of like it wouldn't look that fun or
yeah.
that. But yeah, overall, I was just so fun, literally, to do it in London, because it was totally a new thing and meeting new people. Usually, I work with like a lot of people that I already did, and it was nice to see some new faces in. And Christos, who filmed the music video, he did such an amazing job. He came all the way from Germany just for us to
Brilliant.
to film the music video. And the whole band, literally, we had a band in a venue, and we were jamming. Like we were like jamming the song, and we actually made like a live version of the song, which is also
Okay.
going to come out. Yeah, so that's coming out later on. And we were just like, I think we played like Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud, and I was just like freestyling, and then I just like did like a freestyle of just like a freestyle song out of
Yeah.
nowhere. And it just took me to the days of me being in high school and having a band, and just it was so awesome. So it was, I don't know, I love being in the whole process of creating things. And me and my manager, we were kind of writing the script. I was also directing it a bit, and I was part of the editing. So I just love everything, man. It's so
Amazing. I'm going to rewatch and see if I can spot any moments of redness.
I think I think.
I would love to know, well, you've told me about some of your talents because we've had a little bit of script writing, a little bit of directing. Do you have any real secret talents that you could share?
uh oh. Well, maybe like a talent would be that, I mean, I know how to speak four languages. That's like one thing. And well, I don't know. I mean, I taught myself how to play guitar and the piano all by myself. That would be like maybe one more thing. But like as to talents, I don't know. I'm really talented in just being lazy, honestly, and sometimes just like playing some video games and in watching some movies. I love movies, just like from the aspect of like also creating
Mhm.
like movies, because I feel like maybe I see myself in a couple of years being a director or something. So from that aspect, I'm like a fanboy of like cinematography or photography. So yeah.
Do you have any film highlights of this year?
Um, this year, oh, okay. Probably this year, definitely Batman. I went to see it twice, and I was blown away both times just by I know it's long, it's like 3 hours, but like the cinematography is just crazy. There's so much emotion in those, there's like a lot of still shots, but you can just feel see the emotion on Robert Pattinson's face, even though he's just like under this whole suit and like he has makeup on. It's just crazy, and yeah, I'm really inspired by that movie too. So
Yeah, he is fantastic. I think as well, he's really shed the Twilight image, and he's now just like a really solid leading man, um,
sure.
and a brilliant Batman.
He's
Um,
really underrated. He's really underrated. He's been doing so good for so many years, but I feel like people still doesn't don't give him the recognition. So yeah,
I still have so much love for Batman Returns. That will always be my number one favorite. But yeah, you know, always good to have more Batman films.
yeah.
Um, I would love to know if you have an unreleased song that you cannot wait to unleash upon the world. That maybe you're sitting there thinking this is a great one. I know, one that you just are really excited to share with the world.
I love this question because I have so many. Like I feel like when you go to my page, I found there's like 100 around 100 demos that we did, um, and obviously not all of them are gonna come out, but there's like there are some songs where I just like I can't wait to fully finish them to hear. I want to go to the future to hear how they're gonna sound when they're released, because
Yeah,
obviously they're gonna sound totally different. But they're just like some ideas that I'm just still when I listen to it, I'm just like I did that, I did that. That's crazy. And sometimes I don't know. A couple of times I listened to the songs and I got really emotional, I even cried. So it's just like that moment of proudness because you don't really expect yourself to do it like that. But yeah, I just can't wait. Literally, I feel like this year there's a couple of them that are gonna come out that I just can't wait. So, yeah. Also with the song, obviously the producer Gethin, he worked on actually he worked on Stuck in My Mind and Kissing Her Missing You. But
okay.
me and him wrote Kissing Her Missing You all alone, and I've been working with him alone for some time now, and we did a couple more bangers. And this year I think there are gonna be a couple of them just with us together. So I can't wait.
Brilliant. Yeah, sounds exciting. I think as well, obviously, when you're producing the music and singing and writing, you're so close that maybe sometimes having a bit of distance with time to go back to them, you realize kind of how good they were. Must be quite nice to have that kind of fresh perspective a few months on.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think like sometimes I do over listen to them, and then like I'm just like I can't even listen to them, So I give myself some time before I do that again, and then when I do, it kind of feels fresh, and yeah, you kind of fall in love with a song, over again. So that's also a beautiful moment, definitely.
Brilliant. Thinking back to young Ben, what was the kind of first moment you realized that you loved music? Was there maybe a certain song you heard on the radio or a certain album that you used to hear a lot?
Uh, I think what got me into making music and just singing was me being obsessed with watching MTV. And at that period, I think it was like 2006 or something like that. And I think Usher's Yeah was playing the most, and just like Let It Burn and stuff. And I fell in love with him like performing, because in his videos he was like dancing, he was looking cool with his outfits, and the songs were great. And I just wanted to kind of be like him. I know I wanted to dress like him, and then I kind of started just to go into, my school was really supportive. I got lucky, but they had like choirs, and then they had like a school band, and they really encouraged me to just do as much as I can, and they believed in me, and that made me believe in myself. So I always got to thank my middle school for that. But I feel like mainly the definitely was the main inspiration was definitely MTV and just all these music channels. And then I kind of fell in love with Michael Jackson too, and I was just kind of obsessed. Literally, I listened to Michael Jackson probably for about 2 years, nothing else probably. I was like 12 or 13. I was so obsessed. So yeah, great memory.
It's amazing to look back at Michael Jackson's singles and albums as well. Like you're looking at albums and they've got like seven number one singles. It's insane. It's really such an incredible career.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I honestly think like when you look at like Off the Wall or like Thriller, those albums have like 9 songs in the whole album. So I think it's also easier to do it when you kind of focus yourself on just creating certain amount of songs. Because this, like, I feel like right now people just kind of focus a lot on getting like songs like on the charts or whatever. So they make like 24 songs on an album, which is like crazy for me. So
Yeah, it dilutes the quality as well, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, can you give me, this is a really horrible question, but can you give me your three all-time favorite albums? If you were going to a desert island and you could only take three, which ones would you be taking?
Ah, okay, I feel like I got it. Okay, I would definitely say the first one would be like Michael Jackson Thriller.
Okay.
Yeah. Second one actually would be Mac Miller, Swimming. And the third one, uh, I think probably something that really influenced me was Frank Ocean's Blonde. I think
Okay.
that one is just like revolutionary in sound and had a lot of influence on me. So those three definitely, yeah.
Who is currently inspiring you creatively?
Everybody, like everything inspires me. I go on Instagram and I see my friends doing music and that inspires me. You know, I see my friends doing art or whatever, and like so many inspirations in life that I draw from. I don't think that I can ever pinpoint to just like one specific thing. So because yeah, I mean it just kind of brings out like every single thing brings out a different thing like in you, so how you feel or whatever. But maybe like I'm gonna dedicate right now, but probably the most inspirational person right now is my manager, because she worked so hard. She worked so hard and she still does for this single to be even out, you know. So
Oh, that's nice. That's amazing. Well, I would love to just finish off with some really kind of quick fire questions, um, just about a range of kind of interest subjects. So, favorite movie?
damn, Lord of the Rings, probably uh I would say the two towers actually.
Yours. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing you own that you really need to throw out.
I don't know, but I got this like Darth Vader mug, which looks really weird, and I never used it. It's just there. There's nothing in it, but maybe
Yeah,
this one.
maybe that's going out the window. Um, your biggest fear?
Losing my voice.
Okay. Your favorite animal?
A tiger.
Hmm. If you could visit another time period,
I would definitely. It's a weird one, but I love the Middle Ages. So like just
okay.
like yeah, somewhere around there definitely, because I love castles and like all this. I love the movies about the Middle Ages. So yeah.
Okay. You need to avoid the plague, though. This is the next challenge.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
Um, if you could pick a worst habit that you've got,
Maybe biting my nails.
the most starstruck you've ever been, who have you seen that's really kind of blown you away?
Uh, Probably like maybe one of the recent pictures my girlfriend sent me.
Um, your favorite smell?
Oh, that's a good one. Maybe like when I smell some really nice grilled meat on
Okay.
the grill. That like yeah.
One song you wish you had written?
Um, Damn. Probably had to be one of the weekend songs. Maybe
Okay.
like yeah, maybe like either like Starboy or Save Your Tears.
Have you been
Yeah.
enjoying his last album?
Oh, so much. I did not expect it to be like that. Literally, I mean, it's wow. Like it's. I feel like to me, this is one of the most perfect pop albums released. Yeah,
And the Jim Carrey interludes and everything, it's just it flows so well as an album. It's really
it's
incredible.
amazing. It's
Um,
amazing.
Final question, and I really like this one. Who would play you in a film?
You gotta think about that because I'm obviously, huh? Hmm. That's a good.
Yeah, it's one of these ones you don't want to answer to, like you don't want to be like, oh yeah, Brian Gosling or like you know,
No, but
um,
I mean, it actually could be Ryan Gosling. I mean,
Ryan
when you
Gosling.
think obviously like maybe like somebody like that has like a bit more blonde hair and like blue eyes, so
Okay,
maybe it could be Ryan Gosling.
Ryan
Yeah.
Gosling. Yeah, we'll see if he's available.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your answers. I've had so much fun chatting to you and finding out about the single, and I'm really excited to hear the upcoming music and the future EP.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really like enjoyed this interview because I didn't do an interview in such a long time, especially in English. So yeah,
Well,